Welcome back to ARMEDFORAGER. Today we're going to unbox and review the Cvlife EagleTalon LPVO. You get a few things in the package. You do get this Allen wrench. It's Torx Allen wrench. You get two CR2032 batteries. Very cool. I appreciate that when they include the batteries, especially two. You get the microfiber cloth, and then you get this mini handle or dial for your magnification, and you're going to need this because it's rather stiff at first. And then you can just screw in that lever right here. If you feel inclined, you can put some thread locker on there as well. There you go. Now it's a little bit easier. I just want to say right away, this reminds me of other high-performing LPVOs, even in the dimensions, even down to the dimensions. When looking at the provided Cantilever mounting system, it reminds me of a well-known brand and company to which I will not name in this video, but it does have a striking resemblance. All right, so taking these protective caps off, we can look at this a little bit more in depth. You got the focus ring. And you can move that. It's very stiff initially, which that's what you're going to get. It's permanently internally lubricated. But with this, you're going to be able to dial that in and be able to understand your best focus there. And again, you got your magnification. This is really nice. It starts to loosen up and feels real good. You do have your eyepiece and then your objective lens. Here's your illumination on this side, which we'll get into when we put the battery in. Then you got your windage and elevation adjustment. And with the battery, you are going to get that BDC illuminated reticle. It is 1 to 6 times magnification. And these aren't covered turrets, but you can tighten this down so that they don't move on you. Every optic that I've gotten from Cvlife comes with these fully multi-coated lenses. Really appreciate that, Cvlife. This is fairly lightweight compared to other LPVOs, especially LPVOs in this price range. And also fairly compact. This is waterproof, shockproof, and fogproof. For anybody interested, if you did want to get a different mounting system, this is 30 millimeter. And when you are adjusting windage and elevation, you get half MOA. And as you may have noticed, it does come pre-tightened and adjusted on here, but I will take it off because I mount my scopes and my optics just a little bit differently, I think, than what might be expected from, them shipping it out and then just placing it on the firearm. It's kind of convenient that they do that for you, but I will also be taking these screws out and then mounting the base onto the firearm, putting the scope on, and then putting the top caps on. That way I can ensure a true elevation and windage. I won't get into how I mount and zero my optics in this video, but we will give a fair shake review on this. All right, definitely as far as convenience goes, one thing I find about this really attractive is the ability to reset your windage and elevation and change out your battery with just a coin. I got a dime here. It fits right in to these little spots. And you can tighten and loosen in order to adjust your windage and elevation. There we go. No big deal if you're at the range and you don't have tools. Maybe you didn't bring your range bag, but you did bring your rifle because you're out, on a trip or whatever it is. It does happen, but now you don't have to worry as long as you got a coin. I know in modernity, not a lot of people carry coins in their pockets anymore, but there's still that option to do that, and you're more likely to have this than a flathead screwdriver in your pocket. All right, so let's look at the battery compartment here. This comes right off. You can actually use your fingers if you would like to. It's got these little ridges here. Just unscrew the cap. Easy enough. You grab one of these batteries they provide. Pop that in. Always want the writing to show so that you can see the writing. That's the proper way to put it in. Tighten that down. It's really no problem. That's in, and if you want to make sure that it's nice and tight, go ahead and use your coin. And you can cycle through this endlessly in order to get the brightness that you want. And you can either go in reverse, clockwise, counterclockwise, it doesn't matter. It'll just keep spinning. Here's what I'm talking about. Yeah, so if you want it real bright and then you want the lowest setting, you can achieve that. If you want it real bright and then you want it less bright and then you want it less bright, you can achieve that as well. And you can keep going down. It does get pretty low, so those low light conditions, you can really achieve the level of brightness that you want. It does have kind of like a double click standard. So if it's on and then you move the dial, then it's off. And if you continue to move the dial in the same direction, then it's back on, but at a lower setting. First click off, second click to the next setting. He's got a 1-year warranty, and if you get him through Amazon, then you always got that return guarantee type of thing that they offer. But if you get it directly through Cvlife, which I do suggest doing, then you still have that peace of mind because they have a 1-year warranty on this regardless of where you get it from. And if you do get it from Cvlife directly, I would suggest using my codes in the description because you're going to get a big percentage off of the cost of this if you do use those codes. So check that out if you're in the market for an LPVO. So this is labeled a BDC MOA reticle, and they target this toward the round of 223, 556, and 308, but you can use this, I guess, with any other caliber you would be interested in. This is considered a second focal plane reticle. So regardless of how far you're going out, the reticle is not going to change size. You will see the different notches and separate notches on this for what you're looking at for MOA and what you're looking at as far as yardage going downrange. So that's pretty nice, and they give a good description of that in the handbook. And they do say that you can go out 300, 400, 500, and 600 yards with this. So if you zero this at 200 yards, your subtension is going to be 2 MOA at like 300 yards. And then 4.4 MOA at 400 yards. And then about 7.3-ish MOA at 500 yards. And then about 10.7 MOA at 600 yards. Depending on your muzzle velocity and your bullet drop, that's kind of what you're looking at. So all in all, you're going to be looking at elevation correction. With any scope, that's expected. All right, that seems to do it for the unboxing. If you got any questions, you can leave it in the comments. But let's get out on the range and we'll fire a couple of rounds and see what she's made of.